joining us for the Body, Mind, Spirit Motion. I'm your host, Jill Hewlett, and for any questions or comments, we love to hear from you. Please go to my website at jillhewlett.com. On today's show, we're discussing a very important topic, Bill C-51, and now Bill C-52. And with us is medical science writer and publisher, Helke Ferrie. Thank you for joining us, Helke.
Thank you.
Well, we've been discussing a lot prior to coming on to this interview, and before we discuss the bills and the issues at hand for natural and therapeutic products, what makes you so interested in this topic? Why are you the spokesperson for this?
Well, I've been interested in medicine for a long time. I'm married to a doctor, and I grew up in India, where I saw a lot of, what the miracles that standard medicine can produce. For a long time, I wanted to be a doctor. Circumstances were such that I didn't become one. But finally, I became very ill in the early 1990s, and it was caused by pesticides, particularly DDT, to which I was exposed for many years in India, and mercury amalgam in my teeth. And at that time, in the mid-1990s, there was not much in contemporary medicine that could deal with these issues, even though they were aware of these toxicities. And now it has become part of mainstream medicine to understand these problems, but at that time I had to sort of find my way. And in connection with that, I came across the fact that not only did I have a problem of finding care and be helped with the toxicities, but I also found that doctors who were on the cutting edge of this research were being prosecuted for not meeting the standards of practice. In other words, let's keep everything the way it is and nothing new can come on to this planet. And that got me involved with many doctors who were trained specifically in environmental medicine. Eventually, Dr. Joseph Kropp of Mississauga, who's one of the most famous environmental doctors in North America, he cured me and saved my life, as well as my son's, who was poisoned by Roundup, the pesticide. He was doused in an accident from top to toe in this pesticide, and it nearly killed him. And have to know the protocols of how to deal with this. So the experience of having my son's life saved, having my own life saved through cutting-edge medical research was what got me more and more interested in it. And eventually I started writing about it, and so now I write, for the past 10 years, I have been writing the lead article in Vitality magazine every month. And I started a publishing company which publishes books on environmental and nutritional medicine, mostly by doctors who are actually working in the field. That's how I got into this.
Well, it is such a pleasure to have you on the show, and I know numerous people who follow your articles monthly and also attend various events where you're speaking at, and you can feel the passion and the wisdom that you bring forth, and experience is always the best teacher. Anyone I have sitting across from me on this show is sharing how they got into a natural practice because it's somehow affected and changed their life. So, but what you're doing, having done for yourself, you're now doing for so many, and as of late, you're actually keeping our availability to have access to these products and services by being a spokesperson for us and letting us know what's at hand and what's at stake, actually, regarding the bill that's coming up. How do you feel about it? Do you feel there's a huge risk going on for people?
You mean specifically about these two bills?
Yeah, in regard to what we're, our main focus here,
I spent most of my time over the last month researching Bill C-51, which got first reading in Parliament in Ottawa on April 8th. And only yesterday I became aware of Bill C-52. So for the listener, it will be complicated to see how these two interact. So I would suggest, and I hope that as we go on, the screen will show which websites to go to in order to get the primary information. And before I say anything about either bill, I want to make really sure that people understand that the purpose of what I'm saying is not to believe me, because I don't believe in arbitrary authority. It's fallible. But to go to the actual documents, go read Bill C-51 for yourself, and go read Bill C-52. And if this is difficult, you have legal opinions that have been given by very experienced lawyers who have worked in this field and are familiar with Supreme Court decisions that impact on it and are in the field themselves. And they are easily available for free on the internet by those organizations that are flashing across the screen. Read them yourself. This is key.
Yeah. And the natural health path is about self-empowerment, so I completely agree to that, and we want to welcome viewers to do that. And also, for those of you who are interested in today's topic, you want to become more involved, you want to make a difference, and take back the power and for your own health and well-being, you can attend an event in person at the end of June at OISE.
June 26th.
June 26th. Helke Ferrie is the moderator.
The event on June 26th. Sean Buckley is the lawyer who won a number of very important cases against Health Canada for the natural products industry. And the other speaker will be Shiv Chopra, who is the Health Canada scientist who spent 4 decades trying to keep poisonous materials and toxic substances out of the food supply. He's very famous. He stopped bovine growth hormone worldwide. He will be one of the speakers, and the third speaker will be Mike McBain, who heads the Canadian Coalition, Health Coalition, who are very well known for their work that includes Council of Canadians and all sorts of other outfits. Now, Bill C-51, do you want me to give you the key?
Yes.
I can't say high points, let's call them low points.
Yeah, please do.
First of all, there are specific sections in Bill C-51 which, number one, restrict availability of any health product. Whether it's arbitrary, the minister decides, it is not a matter of an independent review on something. So whether it's a drug from a pharmaceutical company or whether it is a natural health product like vitamin C, it allows the minister to restrict the access without questions asked and without recourse.
Even if a product's been helping someone, even if a
That's
person
irrelevant.
Okay.
The minister decides. So you have a situation also where in the past we used to be completely familiar with the distinction between a food and a drug. And there are substances like vitamin C from oranges, even if you juice and juice carrots, you get an awful lot of vitamin C in a glass of fresh carrot juice. And we are aware of the fact that there are therapeutic properties to things that come from foods, without going into the details of supplements. Now, the distinction between a food and a drug has been well understood for a very, very long time in the law and is clearly demarcated. Bill C-51 stops that and calls anything that is a food, a breast implant, a tooth implant, a drug, it doesn't matter what, a therapeutic product, not making it possible for you to distinguish which is which. Everything that follows is now about a therapeutic product. Consequently, you have no way of pulling this apart. Secondly, Section 15, subsection 1, for example, of this Bill C-51 makes it possible for the minister to decide without recourse, without discussion, whether something should be prescription. We already know that many drugs are prescription and doctors prescribe them according to their specialty and so on. But now anything else can be prescription too. And it isn't specified. So the health industry, the health products industry is going to wonder whether minerals and vitamins and essential fatty acids and so on are going to become prescription. They may. So far, they were not.
So you'd have to go to your medical doctor, GP, in order to get the prescription
yes,
written
and
for
medical
you.
Doctors are not trained
that was going to be my next point.
Medicine.
Right.
It's not necessarily that they are deficient in the sense of not wanting to know. It is simply not part of their training.
No, it's not their training. So how could
so
they
much
be?
For that.
How could they? I mean, you're on a roll here, but to interject, because I'm sure viewers sitting at home may be wondering, who would give the prescription then? The naturopath, would they be able to do it at this point, or would it have to be?
Well, the minister will decide.